What's up, guys? We are back with another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at one of the more recent Build-A-Figures turned regular releases. We're taking a look at the latest Venom figure. So, of course, this is the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure turned into a more monstrous Eddie Brock style of Venom. This guy comes in the kind of larger format Build-A-Figure packaging now. So you've got the figure there in the window, Venom logo down there on the bottom, some artwork that runs down the side panels, and the back of the box has got a big old shot of the figure itself, and then a very tiny write-up. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, our new, not necessarily improved, but different Venom figure. So this, of course, is a Build-A-Figure that has been repainted, the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure, done up in a more Eddie Brock style of color scheme. So it's supposed to be Eddie as Venom in a much more hulking size. I think this is pretty cool. I really love this figure just in a general sense, so I was kind of on board anyway just to get a different, slightly different version of it. So we're going to see how he moves around, see what he can do. He is something that we've seen before, but if you don't have that Build-A-Figure, this is the way to get that figure, just different. So we've got a head that can look up really far. Really great range of motion there. He can look down a decent bit for having such a big, long head. He does have pretty solid movement. The head rotates, but of course he's basically looking forward because he's hunched forward, so it's basically just a swivel, really. The arms go out at the shoulders. If you pull them too far, you could crack the torso because this is the Build-A-Figure that, of course, came in two parts, so you have to put the back onto this guy, so you might pop it. I have not had that problem, but I know that it can happen. You can swivel at the shoulder. You've got your bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, 90 degrees basically, and then you've got hinges and rotation at those wrists. He has got an ab crunch, so he doesn't really go backwards too much, but he does go forwards really, really well. And then you've got your waist twist. That's a really loud crunch. Legs go pretty much all the way out to those Venom splits. Kick forward, really good despite having really thick, chunky thighs. He kicks backward. He's got a thigh cut. He's got double jointed knees that are really giving me trouble right now. And then you've got a sort of an ankle cut, and then you've got rocker, and you've got hinges down there. So he moves really well. He's very poseable. This is a really fun figure to just play around with and to move around. So again, if you're familiar with that original figure, you know what to expect, but you're also getting something really poseable if this is your first time playing with this guy. Now, as far as the aesthetics on this guy goes, this is a what you see is what you get figure. You aren't changing him up. You can't do anything to him. He is devoid of any accessories. He is just a really monstrous figure in that package. And he is, of course, very similar to this guy, the original Monster Venom Baff, but at the same time, the deco is incredibly different. They are very, very unique in terms of their color palettes and just the overall design for what makes them Venom. So the original Monster Venom was done up in a kind of metallic-y blue, kind of a pearlescent metallic blue with this crazy electric spider emblem on it. And of course it's on the back. The guy has just a tremendous amount of musculature sculpt. The veins popping out of every square inch of this figure. I mean, he's quite vascular, to say the least. This guy, though, the new figure, is meant to be Eddie Brock. So a massive, hulking, monstrous Venom. I don't know that anybody thinks of Venom like this in terms of Eddie Brock, but it does work just because, well, it's still kind of cool. Venom can, of course, change in many different ways, so I'm down for this. It is a very classic Venom look with the black with blue overtones. You've got the black hands with the white squares. He, of course, has the very traditional spider logo. This is something that suffers from the fuzziness that we see a lot with Hasbro when it comes to Legends. The top of the spider legs up here and then the actual abdomen of the spider area on the emblem is pretty fuzzy. It's not a huge deal. It's not something that I really, lose any sleep over, but it's definitely something I'm going to point out. Otherwise, though, I mean, this is still a really fantastic looking figure. The head sculpt on this guy is something I really dig. I love these huge monster eyes. I dig the tongue sticking out, all these jagged teeth. What I do wish they could have possibly done somehow is to change him up ever so slightly, just to make him at least a little bit unique, because the one area on this figure that, while it all still very much works, doesn't really work on this figure is the feet. I don't know that we ever really see Eddie Brock Venom with actual feet. Those are huge monster clawed-toed feet almost. I wish they gave him more of a boot-style foot to give one new piece of tooling to this figure just to differentiate him enough. Even if he didn't have extra hands or anything like that, because I dig these big clawed-style hands. The feet are the one thing I kind of wish they could have gone not even the extra mile, just the regular mile, to give us something a little bit different. He does still look fantastic. I mean, the sculpt on both of these figures is superb, to say the least. There's a ton of detail crammed into this guy all over. They do look very similar while at the same time being quite different from each other. And even though I don't think anybody thinks of Eddie Brock as this, it still looks really cool. And my love of this figure translates pretty well into this new guy. So overall, there's not a whole lot for me to say on this guy, really. I really dig the Build-A-Figure, and I like this figure as well. I think I might like the BAF a little bit more just because I really dig that color scheme, that kind of metallic blue almost. It really works for me. But this figure is fantastic, and if you don't have that Build-A-Figure, there is no reason not to get this figure, specifically because it's only 30 bucks. This is a hell of a lot of plastic for only $30, and I'm really, really happy with what Hasbro's doing when it comes to reissuing these BAFs slightly different for, let's face it, a really affordable price, honestly. This is a crazy deal for only 30 bucks in the current Marvel Legends landscape. So that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Venom. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.